Hey guys, Huz here, bringing you another commentary, this time playing Elise jungle, one of my favourite junglers in the game, and, well, she's a really strong jungler right now in the current meta. I'd say she's easily up there with the likes of, Elise, Vi, etc. She's just a solid champion that you pretty much see every game if it's not banned. So yeah, playing Elise today, and Runes and Masteries. If you go on my LOL King, I think my Runes and Masteries are called, well, one of them's Elise and then the other one's called Spider Queen, and it's a fairly aggressive Elise. You know, I have hybrid reds, a bit of AP in Quince, and then it's 2190 in the Masteries, just to go as much damage in the early game as possible. Now, this game is obviously in Diamond 1. I'm not on my Smurf, this is on my main account right now. And I have a Blitzcrank, which it's quite rare to see a Blitzcrank, honestly, in higher levels of play, because if a Blitzcrank doesn't hit many hooks, then he's near useless. Or if he hooks the wrong person, if he hooks a tank instead of a squishy carry, then you're in trouble. So you don't really see him that often. You more see like a Thresh that if he lands a hook, he can decide whether to go in or not, other than a Blitzcrank. Now, one thing to note with the current lineup of my team is that they're actually invading my red. Nasus has gone to this bush and he's actually dancing, so he's been a big useful help on the red buff there. Obviously did not get enough scouting knowledge to know that they're stealing my red. Zed obviously hovering around this side of the map also does not know that they're stealing my red, so we have no knowledge of this right now. So well played to them. They kind of slipped through us, managing to steal my red away. I'm going to start the blue buff right now, do it as quickly as possible, use my spiderlings to tank a bit of the early damage, use my early smite there because obviously it comes up when red buff is available, but with Vi taking it away, there's not really, I'm not going to be able to use it for that. So the Jinx, I remember in this game, basically the next two games, this one obviously being Elise and the next one's actually going to be a Ziggs mid lane, is that these games are going to be focusing on what to do if you've got a teammate that is either disconnecting or just generally, teammates not playing well. Now, both of the games are going to be at Diamond 1 level, not Smurf level, and for those who are wondering, I will be bringing more Smurf content out in the next couple of days. I'm going to try and make a video now every single day for the rest of January, which is going to be quite a challenge, but we'll see if we can do it. Anyway, I just go to my red and notice that my red buff is missing. Vi obviously taking it. She's taking her blue right now. And this is kind of why I love Vi so much. This is a tactic I actually personally use on Vi quite often, is that I actually take the enemy's buffs as well, because she can do it so quickly. Anyway, pathing is plaguing me right there in the fact that I do a little bit of pathing. So they may have seen me, or they may see that I was heading towards that the buff, and obviously Katarina is now moving also. So they are heavily denying me right now. Vi going to start her red, and that means that she is actually 3 buffs up and I'm only 1. So, she is rather ahead of me right now. So I've got to be careful of that. You can see the CS differences, in the box below. And I will try to speed up this game as in areas that are a bit boring, such as now, because it is quite a long one. And obviously, for those who like these commentaries, sometimes they can be a bit long. Anyway, I will pause, or just not pause, I will slow it down to normal speed just to note that the Vi is ganking bottom lane, but this is not a relatively good time for the Vi to come because she should notice that her wave is actually pushing. So anyway, again, I will speed it up. Not much is going on right now. Singed has reached a relatively low health in the top lane. He is against a Nasus, and from what I recall, this Nasus is running CDR Blues and Lifesteal Quince, which is actually quite a big combo on Nasus. That gives him so much sustain, especially in the early game, to basically just make him free farm. So I'm going to go up the river and see if I can get a gank off, try to get that first blood, see if we can make anything happen. If I get a Nasus snowballing, that is a great tool for us. Anyway, moving in for the gank, he has a ward or sees vision of me and he ghosts immediately. So that is actually okay for us. That tells me that I can come back and then gank him when he comes either back to lane if he's basing, or I'll do the double golems and then gank him, because I don't want to get behind in the XP war. There is a gank coming on mid. Zed manages to get away, which is relatively good for him. And let's see if we can get the gank off on top lane. So Singed is moving in a position that is actually not great. He gets withered. Obviously doesn't have Ghost right now. Doesn't have a level 6. So I'm moving in for the kill. And we both go for the damage. And there we go. I get first blood for myself. So that makes up a bit for not having the red buff there. And now another thing I have to note is this Nasus is very, very greedy with his CS, which is a good and bad thing. if I was that top laner right now, I'd be pushing that wave to the tower as quick as possible, where he actually pings me away from that to get as many Q stacks as possible, which I suppose is actually good for him. Obviously, denying CS from your opponent is pretty much as good as getting CS, in my opinion, keeping them behind as well as you getting ahead. Looking for a mid gank now. See if we can bait something out on the Katarina. See if she shumpos onto the Zed. That will allow me to get in and do some damage. So there's the shumpo. I am moving in into position, but I don't think I'll be able to do anything because she does move straight away with that W speed up buff. I do repel just to see if I can get anything if she went, looped around, but she doesn't. Vi is moving in. Now, unfortunately, I missed my cocoon, which leads them to do a lot of damage to me. Both me and Zed flash out, but I think this may be the end for me. It is, unfortunately, and Katarina actually does pick up a double kill and manages to survive. So that, again, is not a great trade for us. I'll speed up while I'm dead. Obviously, death time has been quite low in the lower stages of the game, or early stages of the game, rather. And one thing to note is I'm still opting for an aggressive start. When you know you've got a Nasus on your team, you know you're really going to be playing for late game because that's the way it goes, really, when you have a Nasus. And although Nasus does a lot of damage in the late game, he also is really, really tanky. Anyway, the red buff is going to come up any moment now, and instead of starting my blue, I opt for starting my red, as I was fairly confident that they started it. So I'm going to stop Vi from stealing it again. So again, just really, really quickly do this so Vi can't come over and steal it. You can see she is actually on her way to come get my red because she thinks I'm going to be starting blue. Katarina then also warded my blue. That gave them the knowledge to know that, I probably am on the red. They are ganking the mid lane. Zed may be able to survive any second. He does actually manage to survive. I repel just in case they were actually going to go even deeper onto him, but they don't. They back off, which luckily for Zed, he manages to survive. So this gives me a bit of CS. This will help me in the long run for getting a bit of XP, etc. And then after this, I think I will jump over to the blue buff. I missed my cocoon again, which isn't great. But yeah, going over to the blue buff now, and then I'll see if maybe I can get a gank off somewhere. Now, Elise, you can opt for 2 different styles of play. I did actually use the sweeping lens there just to see if they were in the area. And we also have vision of this Katarina is looking to go aggressive on me. And also Vi is wanting to come again, and they are basically, the enemy team right now is playing shut down Elise in the fact that they steal the red buff. They are really going aggressive on this blue buff. Vi wanted to go for my red buff, but I went there first. They are really, really wanting to get this blue buff. So we have vision. You can see on the minimap I was spamming help pings around this area. Bottom lane is moving into the area, but Annie got there a little bit quicker, which at the moment I think we're unaware. Zed finds himself in an awkward position, getting a bit caught there position-wise, but I think he manages to survive maybe. So yeah, very good shadow play there. He does manage to survive. We're coming from the back end, which, I don't know, it's an okay position. Jinx went fairly low in a little fight before that. And again, they are still wanting this blue. This is how much they're wanting to shut me down as an Elise, which, I don't know, it's rather flattering again and annoying at the same time. So Katarina is moving in. She's going to do a bit of damage. She still has her ultimate, I believe. Yes, she does. Vi is moving in for the actual buff itself. And we'll see if I can manage to pick it up any second. So there's the cocoon. Here we go for probably a bit of damage. She does manage to get the shumpo, and I managed to get the blue buff with a Q and smite. Now we're going to be careful, though, of a counter engage. Seeing if they would probably pick up some kills. The Katarina has gone fairly low, so I'm going to go on her, see if I can pick up a kill. I do manage to pick up a kill with going full in for the damage, and then manage to get out. And again, they are still going so deep, and I think they may actually go down. So there we go. They wanted to get that blue buff so badly that they did give away 2 kills. They managed to pick up the Jinx, but they gave away a lot for that. So anyway, that has helped me a little bit to secure a bit of control back onto the game. I'm now 2-1-0. No assists in there, unfortunately. Well, good and bad thing. I get a bit more gold personally, but I'm not spreading the wealth through my team yet, where the Vi is 1-0-2. Item build wise, she's going for rather tanky Vi, and if I was her at this stage and she was going for that bullying approach, I'd go for the Elder Lizard and then move into like a Sunfire Cape. It's a really, really strong build, and that's generally what I do on Elise, on Vi, sorry. And then Elise, you can either opt for 2 things. You even go for the Ancient Golem, which is the standard one, or if you're feeling very confident like I was this game, and I do need I don't even know where I got my confidence from for this game. When I knew I had an Asus on my team who is farming very well. You can see in his farm in the bottom bit, he's on 81 compared to Singe's 68. That I know we're going to be playing for late game, so I can go for a bit of a damagey build in the early game, make up for our lack of damage, and then build tanky later on. So anyway, they actually do manage to pick up the dragon there. We don't have any wards on it, unfortunately, which does lead them to have it for free, more or less. So yeah, we are letting a few things slip this game, which isn't great. I am moving for the top lane, do sweeper that as I was walking through, and I think we may just go aggressive onto the Singed. Cocoon incoming, there we go, get the nice cocoon, and then move on for the kill, seeing if we can get it. Nasus finishes it off with a nice Q there, so there's even more stacks. And I think again, yes, he pings me again to get away from his CS, but luckily for me, 2 of them follow me, so I will pick those up. Zed has gone aggressive on a Katarina he has found. I don't think he managed to pick up the kill here, but this does lead us with a good opportunity to take their blue. I think I may pick this up because Katarina is hovering. Now, it's a bit risky why she's hovering on that low health. She's really stopping us trying to take it. So she doesn't even get it. So she flashes, or she jumpos onto it. She does a bit of damage thinking she'd get it, and then doesn't even get it because I smite it, and then she flashes away. So that was relatively good for us. Moving in onto the Katarina, she makes the mistake of getting hit by my cocoon and going down. I use my flash to get out, but that is good for me. So now I'm 3-1-1. Got that Spectral Wraith obviously doing a lot of damage. Now a lot of people forget how much damage Elise actually does. She does a lot of damage. It's actually surprising how much he does. Now, unfortunately, Vi did a gank on bottom lane and Jinx has gone down. And this is the main thing of this game. And you can see the difference between the ADs. Now, some people may have lost or forgotten what I said. The next 2 commentaries are focusing on when you have a teammate that's not doing so well or lagging or that type of thing. How can you actually secure the win? Because obviously these commentaries are mainly revolved around winning. I have thought about making a series about losses. Where could I change things? But I think instead of showing you whole games of losses, I may make a series of just like where did a game get thrown, and then show you how did it get thrown and what we could have done. That probably would be something in the future I can do. But the CS difference between Lucian and Jinx, he's on 94 and she's on 40, so more than double at the 13-minute mark. That's terrible for the Jinx. And if we go into the gold tab, first time of the game, we can clearly see the differences. So top lane, we'll start there. Nasus is ahead by 600, relatively good. Myself and Vi, I am ahead by 400. Mid lane is ahead by about 100. We are going aggressive onto the Katarina. Vi does move onto us, but I think we just may do a bit of damage to her. You can see I'm just out damaging her right now, even though I'm quite low health. Moving further down, here's probably the biggest difference. Yes, it is Lucian versus Jinx. Lucian is 1200 odd gold ahead. We're going to go aggressive onto this Vi. I think we may even pick up the kill. Oh, I remember this. I didn't even see Lucian, so that was relatively bad of me. And he moves in from a position, I think over here, that we didn't actually have a ward. And he's going very aggressive to Zed and actually gets hit by a tower shot as well as the red buff and gives another kill to the Lucian. So Lucian is 301. So this game is looking dreadful for us right now. And I actually forgot to do the supports. 3,100 odd for Annie, 3,100 and a bit more for Blitzcrank. And that's basically the CS difference there. So this game is not looking great for us. I will speed up the game while we get back into position a little bit. Let's go a bit faster. Really, really quick spider. Moving back into the jungle. Probably do some farming. And the farming difference between me and Vi is not much. We have different styles. She was relatively gank heavy in the early game. Although I was making stuff happen. With also being countered a bit, taking my red buff. They focused a lot on my blue buff, but I got a lot out of that blue invade that they tried to do. And again, if just before this, Lucian actually did kill Jinx by himself. So this game is not looking great. He's actually going to kill the pink ward by himself. I'm going to do a bit of trading with him because I think I can, but then take half of my health and then realise, he does the damage. I'm going to move over to the blue buff just to secure it. They do have it ward, so I'm going to clear the ward and then move on to it. And luckily for me, I'm Elise, so I can do it really, really quickly. And now Vi is also on a killing spree with killing the Blitzcrank. So what my team should be doing right now, and I think what I was trying to stress to them a little bit in chat, was just be patient. We've got a Jinx that is like useless at the moment. If you look at her items, she hasn't even got like a pickaxe or a BF sword. She's literally got a vampiric scepter and boots and some Dorans, compared to Lucian that already has a BF sword. So yeah, we're really behind. But our hope is we have an Elise and a Nasus late game, and a Zed. To be honest, we have a good late game. Like, our team, apart from the Blitz, I'd say is really, really good, and I really, really enjoy this team. And he does go a bit aggressive on me. I think I may... Well, if I hit that cocoon, I would have got aggressive on her. But unfortunately, I missed it. And I think I'll just be holding this bot lane. Because Lucian can get this tower very, very quickly. That's a problem for us. I do have Blitzcrank now. I don't know what that cocoon was. Probably just a random one just for a bit of fun. Just clear the minions as quick as possible. But you can see how much damage he's already doing to myself. Dragon is up in about 20 seconds. Which I'm not sure if we would have had knowledge about or not. But again, we are waiting for the late game. If there's any chance of winning this game, it's not now. If we team fought now, we'd probably get crushed. Because Jinx isn't going to be with us. 100% she's not going to be with us. Now, we actually get a pick there onto the Lucian. He does go down instantly. I dodged the Tibbers with a cocoon. But, Katarina has moved into the fight with her ultimate as she manages to go down, which is good. I managed to just survive there. Annie's going aggressive. I go onto her face, and I think I may pick up the kill. Yes, I do. So I go down to the Vi. Vi is now on a rampage, being 405, so she's doing really, really good. But I also get another kill. So I have finished my Sunfire Cape right now. This is a build I love doing. It gives me early damage with the Ancient, the Spectral Wraith, and then gives me tankiness. The armor really early on does help. So Vi's going to do this dragon by herself. She is opting for the Triforce, the next item, which is a very strong build. It's one that I have done before, but I will stress again, the one I love doing the most is you go to Elder Lizard if you're doing well, then move into your Sunfire Cloak for tankiness, and then you can move into anything you want. If you're really doing well at that point, you can go into a Brutalizer. If not, you can go into a Spirit Visage or a Triforce or Randuin's, whatever you need. It's a really open build that just needs a good early game to kind of secure, warranting the damage over the tankiness in the early stage. Let's pick up my red buff right now, and the one thing I have to say is I have taken most of the buffs in the game due to the fact that there's a lot of pressure on the buffs. Now I am moving to the top lane again. Me and Nasus have managed to kill this Singed quite a few times. I have the red buff on him, so he should go down, but Nasus does give up. So I don't think we managed to get anything yet. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Q off there. Obviously, when you cast a spider in human form, the W, and then go in human form and spider form press Q, that W spider in human form will jump onto whatever target you Q in spider form. That's why Elise has so much burst. Anyway, there is a gank coming in the mid lane. Vi does the flash Q. I think Blitzcrank may go down. I am moving in. I managed to get a really nice cocoon onto the Katarina just as she ultimates, and I managed to get that kill there. And I think I may get away. We'll have to see. Still trying. No, Annie actually does pick it up. Lucian is also in the area, and this is the time that we really, really do need our AD carry to just start doing something. It's all well and good that she had a bad early game with lag, but she needs to get involved now. And I think that is what she's trying to do. She gets engaged on near straight away, and I think she'll just be here for wave clearing with her cannon. She does get stunned, and she managed to survive, and he will go down, so that is not bad. That is a 1-for-0 trade right there in that small skirmish. Blitzcrank is moving into the area. Now, this is what I mean by Blitzcrank. If he grabs a target that is really fed, like that Vi, it's a bad news for us. If he grabs that Singed, it's bad news for us. Not many targets that Blitzcrank will grab will be good for us. If he grabs a Lucian, great, but Lucian can still get away, possibly. And if he grabs the Katarina and she still has ultimate and he doesn't manage to get the knock-up on her, then again, that's bad news for us. Speeding up the game here just before I gank the Katarina. I'm moving behind her, seeing if we can get the kill. Unfortunately, my team give up on chasing her a little bit there. Zed goes back to farm, which is a bit odd. If he continued, we may have actually picked up the kill. He actually did have ultimate there too, so he would have got that kill if he ultimated the Katarina. As you can see, her health is relatively low. Now, unfortunately, again, the AD's 1v1. I don't know what the Jinx is doing. She keeps 1v1ing him when she knows she's behind, and she just keeps feeding him even more kills. So This is probably, many of you will like familiarize yourself with kind of seeing this type of thing if you're in the lower brackets, you know, bronze, silver, gold. And yeah, it happens in Diamond 1. This, as you can see, it's on Huzz. This is a solo queue game. It's still in my history if you go on LOL King, and it was a Diamond 1 ranked game. So it does happen. Now, another trade going down. Unfortunately, he cancels his auto attack at the last moment and does go down. I'm moving in for the kill and manage to get it, so I get a nice shutdown there, which is a nice little Brucey bonus for me. And Annie's moving in, which is really odd. I don't know why. There is no way in hell that she's going to manage to kill me. She actually does do a bit of mistake there with cancelling or just moving back into me. Katarina has moved into the area as well, but if it was a 1v1, I reckon I could easily take this Katarina, which I am doing right now. And then any second, ooh, and I go down to the ignite, unfortunately. So, and that misses. So yeah, that was really, really close. If she didn't have the Zhonya's, and I timed my repel a little bit better, if I didn't come down as soon as I did, then maybe I could have made something happen. Vi has also found the Blitzcrank and killing the Blitz. So at this point, a lot of people would FF, like, you know, the Lucian's too far ahead. Their Vi's 6-0, 6 of Triforce. This game is unwinnable. But let's look at the top lane, shall we? We have an Asus at 213 farm at the 22-minute mark. He's really been untouched. Vi hasn't even ganked top. I've ganked up a little bit. Got 2 kills on the Singed. 1 for myself, 1 for the Nasus. And if we look onto his Q farm, he's got plus 525 onto his Q, which obviously I can't see how many stacks that is. Or well, yeah, it's plus 525 damage. So that is going to keep going up. And up and up and up. That's the thing with like a Nasus or a Viger, that type of thing. Although I don't really rate Viger as a champion, they have unlimited scaling. They are literally the definition of late game. Anyway, going to move into the mid lane and farm up a bit. Just taking a bit of CS here. I'm on 75, Vi's on 70, so both of us have been gank heavy this game. I've been involved in 10 of our 13 kills. Vi has been involved in 12 out of their 19, so we have got a fairly high kill participation in this game. Anyway, I have got myself a little bit caught out there, I will be honest, but I think we can manage to burst down the Vi. Now you can see my damage is really, really high, but theirs is also. Now I was actually looking for the Vi there. I was going to repel onto her, but then the Jinx managed to get the rocket. Katarina is looking really, really greedy for me. She does jump onto me, and I think she may go down. And cute. So that is another kill for me. So this is where the tides start turning. This is where we're going to start winning this game. We've got Singed being grabbed into the enemy team. I managed to cocoon him and then just take the kill with the spider bite of Q. But Blitzcrank does go down for grabbing him there. And we're going to move in for even more kills. Now Jinx has got the red buff, which is good for her. Really nice range, nice slowing in there. And that was a good team fight for us. That has brought back a lot of the, you know, potential that we have winning in this game. Now we get the tier 1 in mid lane. Nasus is just obliterating them turrets. Just his farm is immense. So well played to this Nasus in this game so far. He, although he was, you know, really greedy with pinging people away when I was ganking from his CS, he was rightfully so to do it because, you know, he's Nasus and he wanted to get that Q stack. Anyway, Jinx is doing the dragon. I'm heading over there. If we look into my build right now, I have picked up myself the Spectral's Cowl. Have also went for the Sorcerer Shoes. And we'll see if we can go aggressive on the Vi. She early smites and I managed to get it. And then we'll see if we can pick it up. So again, she goes really, really aggressive onto the Jinx. We're going to probably pick that up and now move in for a kill. Really nice Blitzcrank stun. I'm moving up top for the Annie. And now Katarina also going aggressive on myself. And any second, Annie was going aggressive on me. Zed managed to get it. And then Blitzcrank is going to chase down the Katarina. Jinx is really, really low. But I think she nice flashed there and managed to survive. All my team is chasing her down. Singed is moving in to probably try and clean up a little bit here. Blitzcrank does a nice hook. Nice chompers basically separating her and the Singed. And I think my team, if they just focus him down, you know, I'm moving in here as well. I get the cocoon on him and we all just focus him down. And there is basically an ace because we did kill the Vi seconds before she just came up. So yeah, my team has come back now. We are now ahead in gold, believe it or not, from this appalling start. Jinx is making it back into the game. Now don't get me wrong, she is a lot weaker than her opponent AD carry, but here's where the difference is. I do more damage than the Vi. and I can 100% get onto the Lucian if possible. That fight I didn't even need to, because Vi overcommitted. She went really low before the fight started, and that's basically where the fight broke down. And then I managed to, you know, go on the Annie, etc. But the main point of this is the Nasus is doing very, very well. If you can just hold out and see potential of where your team is strong, then you can always get the win. Even though our lanes got nearly obliterated, you know, bot lane got obliterated, they nearly got every Drake. I knew the late game we had this. You know, we have a Nasus top lane, we have Elise jungle who's very strong late game, we have a Zed mid lane, and yes, we do have a Jinx. She is very, very, very strong in the late game, probably one of the strongest. She's definitely up there with Tristana, etc. Moving aggressive on the Katarina. Fortunately, I missed my cocoon due to the Shumpo. But yeah, we are strong late game, and I think my team has finally realised that, you know, we know we're strong. Anyway, Zed really weirdly ults an Annie. He does manage to get the kill, but I would never ult an Annie. I go aggressive onto the Lucian. Nasus is TPing in, so we're going to see if he can clean it up. Now look at that Q, that was huge. Now I'm going to try and get away, but yeah, Vi does go for me, and I think, well, there's a problem with Nasus. Now a lot of people say he's OP, he always can get beaten. You know, Nasus can easily get kited, and it's fairly easy to do so, and you can see that here. You know, Singed is a fairly good pick against Nasus. He is going to try and go for the kill. Jinx is really low. She gets one kill and she runs away a little bit and then picks up the second, so well played to her. And then I think, well, we didn't come out on top of that trade. It was about even or so. They may have had one more kill than us. But we are, from going from such behind in this game to now ahead, you know, losing a team fight every now and then is okay. And the one thing I would say was bad about that fight, it was the fact that Zed ulted onto an Annie, which is a support in the end of the day. You know, he's using his biggest source of damage onto a support. If he used that on the Lucian that was near next to her, or the Katarina, etc., that would have been a different fight. Anyway, returning into the mid lane, the game has settled down a little bit. Probably will in the next minute or so, because everybody's just returning a little bit to farming, etc. I'm just farming a wave in the mid lane. Always nice if you're a jungler, you see a spare mid wave or something, just go pick it up, as it is for free. So myself, compared to the Vi, obviously I have died a lot more to her. I've got one more kill and 2 more assists. If we look into the gold tab, I am 200 gold ahead of the Vi, so I am doing okay, but the Vi is also playing very, very well. Have to give it to that Vi. She did a good game this game as well. And the AD carries, you can see the difference is still relatively big. The Lucian is 1400 gold ahead or 1300 gold ahead, so that is still quite a big gap. Now in the bot lane there is stuff happening in that the Zed ulted onto the Lucian and actually killed him, so there we go. He knows now that he can one hit KO the AD carry, and Jinx manages to get into the fight in time and manages to pick up a double kill there. Top lane I find is Singed, but there's no point chasing him right now. He will get away. He's picked up that Riley just to secure him even getting away, which is going to be rather annoying for us. Now at this point in the game, I know me and Nasus can do Baron. We've just got to have it clear. There is a ward here, but yeah, me and Nasus could easily solo the Baron right now. Katarina is moving in. Really nice W by the Jinx there. She is going aggressive onto the Blitzcrank, but I think will actually go down without getting anything. Nice chomper and nice zap. And yeah, well played to the Jinx. She has gone from a really bad start to now she's actually doing really well. So this is what can happen, you know, with not flaming your teammates, with not raging at them. Just try and be calm with them and say, right, we do okay late game, just don't make silly mistakes. Now she did make a few with trying to 1v1 the Lucian at poor times, but she has now, you know, come into her own into the late game. Now I have sweeped the Baron, and now we're going to start it. Me, Nasus and Zed going to do this Baron really, really quickly. You can see how quick it's going down. Vi is moving into the area, but I don't even think she's going to get there quick enough. They are pinging help buttons, and there we go. We get the Baron, and I think then we move on to the Vi. I get the Cocoon, Zed ultimate comes down, which may be a bit overkill, and there we go. I actually pick up the kill there, and that is good for us. So we've actually got the Baron, got another kill. That was a mad life hook, which was the luckiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And we're going to continue a bit of aggression onto the Singed. Blitzcrank does get hooked, which is not great for him. I'm going to do a bit of damage. Oh, there is a fight incoming, and I think I might have flashed out of that and then moved back in. Cocoon, and then get the legendary onto the Jinx. So she's gone from really feedy to legendary, and that was part and parcel of her old playstyle there. That was not great, moving that deep into a tower against the Katarina and to a Lucian that is still rather fed himself. So yeah, 8-6 Jinx. You'd never think her early game was as bad as it has been. And now Zed is moving in, but he has to be very, very careful right now. The Lucian can still kill people, and people are making that mistake all the time right now. He was looking a bit aggressive onto the Zed. I'm going to do a bit of turret damage, but I think I'm going to back off any second. Actually, we do go aggressive. Okay, that was actually good play. But Zed may go down for that. Zed actually flashed over the wall as soon as I landed the cocoon, and we managed to pick up their AD carry, who was obviously their biggest fed person. And I'm actually going to really quickly take the blue buff. I get the smite on and see if I can survive. I don't know if I can. Tibbers onto Annie, or repel onto Annie, and then I think I may just go for the kill. So I actually do manage to pick up the kill just before I go down. And then Nasus is going to move aggressive onto the Vi. Unfortunately, he couldn't position himself in front of the Vi, otherwise he would have stopped that Q going over the wall. But still, relatively good play. So yeah, this game's going fairly well. It's got a bit exciting. We're now like 7,000 gold ahead. It's it's chugging along, or even more. So yeah, this game's going good. Dragon is up, and obviously Dragon has changed in that it used to be a bit meh late game to actually really good. It's worth trying to pick up the Dragon. So I'll speed up the footage a little bit because, you know, I'm not alive right now. I think they're just going to get a free Dragon. Blitzcrank went for the steal, but unfortunately didn't get it. He is going to try and go down. Jinx moves into position. Unfortunately doesn't hit the hook, and he does get the kill. Katarina gets down with a Shumpo ward. Zed goes aggressive onto the Lucian with his ultimate, but I don't think they're going to pick up anything. Lucian does go low as well as Zed, and I think that will be the end for that fight. For now, Nasus is moving into a flanking position. I think the enemy will just move down. If Nasus had Ghost, or he has got Ghost, but he doesn't have it up right now. Lucian has moved into a rather poor position, has to be said. He does get a kill for it, though. And there's the Tibbers, and here comes Nasus. So you can see how much damage he's doing. Bam! Katarina jumps onto him, which is a bit of a surprising thing, and bam, he's lifestealing quite a lot from that, and bam, I don't think he's going to go down. I'm moving in, you see myself over here on the minimap. He does get onto God Tower, so he does go down eventually, but he does take a lot for it. Jinx is really, really low health, so I don't know if she's going to survive this. Yeah, I think she's dead, so RAP Jinx, and bam. There's the GA popped. I think this may be the end. There's the Chompers. She's going to do much damage, but there comes the Vio, and yeah, she goes down. So I'm in the top lane just pushing it. I'm going to speed up the game because there's not much to say right now. Nobody's alive other than myself, just pushing the lane really. Probably going to go for the tier 2. And I'm standing still, which is always a good, you know, technique. And then managed to pick up that also. So I'm going to just wait in this push, sweep it just to see if the enemies are near. If anybody comes into my grasp of my spiders, then I will kill them. But I don't think anybody does. Nobody takes the bait. Blitzcrank has to be careful. He does get ulted, etc. by the Lucian. Lucian goes aggressive onto the thingy, but yeah, does go down for it. He gets stunned by Annie. Obviously, Annie being a very, very good pick into Zed. Now, the Singe actually has left the game right now. I don't know why. I don't actually recall why he left. But this game, I would say we win this game if he doesn't come back. You know, this game was a really good comeback. That's one thing I have to say. My team did stay into it and managed to do really, really well. Now, they are going aggressive onto the Nasus, which is a bit scary for them. And Blitzcrank is going to move on to the Annie and grab. Nice grab. And I'm going to jump onto her and manage to nom a little girl, I suppose, is what that was. Vi is down here, looking to maybe ultimate or something from that position, but managed to just make her jump over the wall. And then go do a bit of damage. Now you can see my burst, that's their tank, and I managed to get at least a third off her health with just one combo. So if I go into a squishy target, I'd probably be doing a lot more. So yeah, this game's going really, really well right now. We are in a position that we can probably siege. Blitzcrank is moving in, just taking a tower hit there, seeing if he can get aggressive grab off, but I don't think he manages to do so. Lucian is ulting that wave to try and keep us off. I managed to get the cocoon onto the Vi. There's a nice grab by Blitzcrank, and that is probably a dead Lucian any second. And There we go, dead Lucian and then a dead Elise. Karina has moved into position to try and get a kill. I get a nice cocoon there just to make her not do anything else, and I think that will be the game. So unfortunately Singe did disconnect at the start, but obviously us having, I think it was a really laggy Jinx in the early game, kind of made up for that, I suppose. I would say we won this game already before he DC'd because our late game was so strong. And he was looking for the kill on myself. I managed to get the cocoon there and managed to survive, use the repel to avoid the damage, and that will be the game. Singe actually comes back just for the game ending. So anyway, that was Elise Jungle. Hope you guys learnt a little bit that the game is not always over. Next commentary to come up is Ziggs mid lane.